Alright, so I had another video for this week, but I'm putting it in cold storage because I think this one takes precedence. I initially was going to keep this topic alone, but man, I can't. So I'm going to assume most, if not all of you, are Memorizer 92 fans. So you're probably aware that Korean inven users are upset over the new pay-to-win packages in the shop because they are quote-unquote too good. It is such a weird timeline for Korea to be saying mad over the game being pay-to-win. It's not like this game was never pay-to-win, and somehow they're still crashing out. It's also really ironic because when anybody talks about anything related to monetization or even not monetization, there's always some like glazer who probably RMTs talking about how pay to win is the Korean way and it will never change. This happened in my video where I didn't even talk about pay to win. And the irony was that in that time and even now, Korea is bitching about pay to win. Like I go into these videos knowing that there are a lot of pretty cooked people in the Western Lost Ark community, but it turns out Korea's more cooked than I thought too. Now, to me, the craziest thing about this is one of my talking points in my last video, and that was bringing more value to the shop. And so according to Memorizer, it's 23 bucks to get about 1,000 fusions and also other materials for honing as well. These are packages that refresh every month. And the value to it is just so good that people are mad because it extremely undercuts what's going on in the market right now. And so people are upset because they think people are just going to swipe and not play the game. But as we've seen over here in the West, that's just not true. People who RMT like crazy still play this game completely unhinged. Granted, yes, a lot of the people who cheat in RMT are probably also the people who are KS spotting, so they're not technically playing, but it's the same way that they would be playing regardless. And again, I just find it so weird because it's not like the game was never pay to win, it was always pay to win. Fundamentally, nothing has changed. But I'm just gonna say, there are a lot of Korean players who talk to the West, and a lot of them do say that a lot of people do buy and sell gold RMT there, it's just that they don't use websites to it, it's all peer-to-peer situations. Pretty sure they're just called rice farmers over there. But you could really argue that a lot of people who are really mad about this are people who are mad that they're going to be making less money for their gold. Because at the value it is at, it is going to reduce the demand in the market because people are going to just swipe instead. They also said that the game is going to feel like a gacha mobile game, which also really isn't a bad thing in a sense, which I've already actually talked about this in my freemium video. I really enjoyed making that video and I think it is a very important topic. So if you haven't watched it yet, maybe give it a watch. But anyway, self-glazing aside, the short version of this is that gacha games exist because MMOs just kind of screwed up too many times. Gacha games actually respect your time, but not your wallet. Lost Ark and a lot of MMOs disrespect both your time and your wallet. If people rather stop doing dailies altogether and just swiping through it, that shows that the progression is either too needy or the dailies is just too much / not fun. People will swipe because it is a solution to their problem. While repeatable endless content is kind of like a cornerstone of freemium games, it is also something that just burns people out. Also, mobile games just financially shit all over MMOs, so if the game became more casual friendly or casual swiper friendly, I don't think it's going to be that alone what kills Lost Ark. However, if this is their solution, their only solution to the last Hellfire about people saying that the progression is too pay to win, then yeah, you could say, you know, the future is a little bit bleak, as this does slightly relieve it, as it is going to be a situation where people are getting more for their money because again, a lot of people probably do buy gold. A lot of people did already buy from the shop over there in KR. So you are going to get more for swiping, which again, most of the community probably does swipe. They also use free to play as their excuse as it decreases the value and work that they do. But again, this is a situation where that has always been the case. If you are going into a pay to win game, you should understand that. Free to play players have always had to grind, especially to keep up with the spenders. That has never changed. Me, for example, I've had 10k hours in this game for like over a half year, and that's because it turns out my static was filled with RMTers that I was struggling to keep up with. And the crazy thing is one of them like played as much as I did, so I could never even keep up even with grinding because they were grinding and swiping. Which goes to show that swiping isn't going to stop people from playing the game. They're still going to play the game. But overall, pay to win games aren't fair and they're not supposed to be. If you're broke, you're just going to be at a disadvantage, and that's just how it is. So literally again, nothing has changed. However, this value proposition might be so good that it might actually convert some of the free-to-play players over to being spenders. Which quite honestly is the dream of any game with microtransactions. They want to turn people into spenders. And a potential byproduct is that it will lower the demand on their RMT gold because people are just going to be buying things, the materials through the shop as opposed to RMTing it. So TLDR is, I think these packages are great. I hope we get them in the West. The game is and has always been pay to win. This is really just redirecting the money people spend on RMT into money into the in-game shop. So as somebody who has fully accepted that this game is just pay to win, I don't see a problem with it. And again, if the value is that good, then that might be tempting for people who are free to play to buy it. And if not, just accept that you are going to be at a disadvantage. Overall, it's really not that deep. But what about you guys? What do you think about these packages?